Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about my summer reading plans. Some might say I'm late on this, just like some might have said I was late on my spring video, but I like this because I could tell you what I have been reading so far and not just like what I plan to read. I can kind of get everything. So let's just get into it. Currently I am reading Difficult Loves by Italo Calvino. I'm also currently reading Don't Let the Forest In, but that is not like summer vibes actually at all. So we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that in my monthly wrap up when the time comes. But this is on my 26th read in 2026. I love Italo Calvino. We've talked about this before. This isn't like particularly summery. I just wanted to read a Calvino. And this is on my 26 and 2026. I'm liking it so far. I'm not loving it, unfortunately, but it's a collection of short stories that are split into 4 sections, and I've just finished the first section, so I think maybe the stories in other sections might be more for me. We'll have to see, because I think based on the titles of the sections, there's the Riviera stories, which is ones I've already read, the wartime stories, the post-war stories, and stories of love and loneliness. And I think stories of love and loneliness is probably going to be my favorite section. That's my prediction, because I just think that we'll probably get some really beautiful prose in there. But this is okay so far. This edition is awesome, by the way. My friend Olivia gifted me this, and I love it. It doesn't match the other ones I have in my collection, so I will be purchasing another copy, but I'm so happy I have this, because this is just so unique. Like, I've never seen art like this on a book cover before, and I love it. I wonder if it was designed for this, or if it's a situation like the Penguin Classics where they just kind of pick a piece of art that goes with it. I'd be curious to find that out, but I don't know. And then, as for books that I really want to get to this summer, there are a couple more on my 26 to read in 2026, including Out by Natsuo Kirino. This, I don't know why this feels summery to me. This is going to be the same kind of thing that I was saying in my spring reading video. I feel like a lot of the books that I feel like go in a season, I don't really have like a concrete reason why. It just is kind of a feeling that I have. And I think what it is for this book is the color grading of the cover photo. Like, this feels like a very like summer color. Call me crazy. I don't believe this takes place in the summer. It might. It doesn't clarify, but this is, they say, at once a masterpiece of literary suspense and pitch black comedy, and I love black comedy, and I love suspense, so I'm really excited to read this. I'm so excited, and then I would love to read. I just have a good feeling. Like, I think I'm definitely gonna love this, and I'm excited to read more of her work. I can't remember what's the other really popular one called. Ooh, this is a little font. That's little. That's okay. Grotesque and Real World. Grotesque is the one that I was thinking of, but they're both quite well received. I think a lot of people really love her work, so I'm very excited about this. And then from my 26 to read in 2026 that I don't physically have, I really want to read Nefando, which is like a tech horror book, and I love tech horror movies. I've never read, well, that's not true. I guess, what is it? I Should Have Left, I guess, is maybe technically a tech horror. I also didn't know until recently that was a movie. Seems like every video I have, I end up talking about adaptations, and I keep saying, I'm gonna make a video. Hey, one day it'll probably happen, but that day's not today. Because I think I want to like really plan out that video, because I want it to be fresh in my mind. So I've never like obviously there are lots of people on YouTube who, like, will read books for videos, and I've never done that because I'm such a mood reader, but maybe I will do that for the sake of that video, but I'm not sure, because I want it to be fresh in my mind when I'm talking about it. But anyway, I really want to read Nefando. I don't have a physical copy of it. I'd love to get one, but it's kind of hard to find used, because I think it's not that popular of a book, so it's not been printed as many times. But again, the only reasoning I have that this feels like summery to me is that there's water on the cover. Of one of the covers, by the way. Not the cover that I prefer, actually. One of the covers has a woman dunked underwater. I'll put it on screen. And then the other cover has, it's like black, and it has lines, and it has an orange circle on it. I can't remember if it's an eye or not, but in my memory it's an eye. I'm not sure if it actually is or not. But as for my 26 to read in 2026, those are the things I would like to get to, because I am almost on track with that, not quite. Where I currently stand, once I finish Difficult Loves, which hopefully will be by the end of June, I will be done with 12 of my 26, so I'm a little behind, but that's okay, because a lot of the books on my yearly TBR are more fall vibe books. Like, there's some horror books on there and stuff that I want to save until, like, October. Okay, and then speaking of, like, October vibes, I know that a lot of people do Summerween, and I love the idea of that. However, I'm not actually doing, like, the Summerween challenge, readathon, that's the word, created by Gabby Reads, because that, I feel like having those guidelines is too much for me personally. Like I said, I'm a mood reader. I kind of just want to be able to read what I want, but I like the idea of that. So I think as for my, like, Summerween, there is one book that I really would like to get to, which is Fantasticland, which I've heard great things about, and it's like a theme park horror, which just screams Summerween to me, because the theme park is so summer. So I have that on hold on Libby, and hopefully I'll get it in July, or August, but I feel like it's giving July. And Summerween, the readathon, does take place in July, but anyway. And then I also have on my list Mixed Signals by BK Borison, which is part of the Love Light Farms series, which I've talked about before on this channel. It's not, like, amazing. It's not a groundbreaking series by any means, but there's fun little reads, and Mixed Signals is the summer season book, so I'm planning to obviously read that during the summer. And then I'll only have one left, which is, what is it called? Business Casual, I think, is maybe what the fall book is called. And then I'll have that series wrapped up. I'm so excited. For long-time listener. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that book. So many things are coming out in the next year. So many things are coming out in the next 6 months. But wow, there are so many good things coming out. I'm so excited. I'll talk about those in my mid-year book freakout tag, which actually might come out before this video. We'll see about that. I don't think it will. I think this will come out first, but we'll see where everything lands. But I'll be talking about that more there. And then as for, like, books on my physical TBR that I also want to get to this summer, I think I want to get to The First Bad Man by Miranda July. This is because her last name is July, so I want to read it in July. That's the only explanation that I have. There are people walking by outside my window. They're not going to see me, but I'm seeing them, and I don't really like that very much. I don't really know, actually, much at all about this, but I've heard really good things about Miranda July's writing from all of the people whose opinions I trust the most online. So I'm very, very excited to get to this. And then I love a sci-fi. What was the most recent sci-fi I read? Oh, I read Born, which I'll talk about in my June wrap-up video, but I want to keep my sci-fi ball rolling, and I believe that I'm going to read The Three-Body Problem this summer. I don't know if I'll get to this in July. This might be an August situation. Let's stop doing this. I know everyone's talking about it, but I also care. Let's stop doing this. I've seen some people online like paint over them, which is kind of awesome, but to me, the thought like of the sensation of the different texture, I think would probably make me throw up everywhere, so I would never do that. Also, I don't have the skills. But anyway, I digress. Happy for them. I really, really want to read this. Everyone loves this book, except for my sister's boyfriend. He hated this book, and he wants to argue with me about it really bad, and I don't want that, because I think I'm probably going to love it. Anyway, I'm so excited to get to this. I'm so excited to watch the show afterwards. And I just don't know anything about it really at all. I know a little bit about like what the actual three-body problem is, a little bit from talking about it in my neuroscience class, but I don't know a lot about it at all. And I just love learning things so much. So I really hope that there's a lot of like actual science spewing in this, which I think that there will be. I need to pick up like, because I enjoy a nonfiction book. I need to pick up straight up science nonfiction books more often, because I haven't read a straight up science nonfiction book since I was in high school, and I need to get back into that because I love to learn so much. I love learning. But in the font on this is pretty big, and also this is a huge book, and I love this. I know there are a lot of people online who hate the fact that book sizes are not standardized. I could not disagree more. I don't know if that's like a crazy hot take. It feels like it is, based on what I have seen online, and I don't understand that at all. I actually actively seek out not having all of the books on my shelf be the same size, because it looks so weird to me. Like, I want my shelf to look organic. I want them to look interesting. I just don't understand. It's like when people have like a big romance shelf and they're all the same cover style and they're all the same size. I'm like, I don't want my bookshelf to look like I'm living in a bookstore. I want it to look like my bookshelf at my home. Anyway, I digress. I'm excited about this. I looked for this used for so long, and then I found it luckily at my local used bookstore for I think only like $8, which is pretty great. It's in like almost new condition, so that was exciting. And then for another book on my physical TBR, I'll be talking a lot about this in my wrap up. I am in my fantasy era. I hate that. I hate era, but that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm in a fantasy stage of my life at the moment, and I am desperate to pick up more fantasy. And I have House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is obviously summer. Like, I believe that this involves mermaids, potentially. I could be completely wrong. The only thing with this, and I really, really want to read this, I also love this cover. I love these shades of blue. I think this is so fun. It's also an amazing paperback. It's so floppy. It's great. However, I really struggle with the idea of starting a series that's unfinished because I, one, don't have the patience for that. Two, I don't even know how many there will be. There are 2 out, and I know there's a 3rd one confirmed, and I don't know if it's the final book or not. But I struggle with that because, one, I want to be able to conclude it, obviously. And 2, I don't want to have to wait 6 months before the release of the 3rd book. At least, I don't think it's definitely not coming out until 2027. And I don't want to have to wait even longer for the 4th book, if there's going to be a 4th book, because I read so many books, I know I'll forget stuff. I don't understand how people do it. Like, people online who read, like, 15 ongoing series at a time, I can't do that. I absolutely cannot do that. I can't keep track of all of those things in my head. And I like to keep my momentum going. Like, I want to binge the entire series back to back. That's just who I am. So that's my only hesitation with this, but I really want to read it. So I don't know, because I'm also feeling like I don't want to make bad assumptions. I don't think this is going to be a 5-star read for me. I think I'm going to have a good time. I don't think it's going to be 5 stars. So I don't know that I'm going to want to reread it in preparation for any upcoming books in the series. So that's how I feel about that currently. But I'm not really sure. Yeah. So those are all of the books that I am currently considering for my summer reading, my tentative TBR. Those are just the things I have on the mind. I'm 100% positive. I would put 10 toes down that I'm not going to read all of these books this summer. I would like to be able to come on here and say, I'll definitely get to all these books. I believe in myself. I don't. I believe in the fact that I'm going to pick up what I want to pick up because I'm such a mood reader. And if it's not sounding good to me, I can't pick it up because I'm not going to want to read it, and then it's going to ruin the experience. So I'm not going to push myself on these books if I'm not in the mood, because what's the point at that point? Because then I'm just not giving the book a fair chance, in my opinion. So, yeah. That is all of the books that I want to read this spring, and what I'm currently reading, which was, like I said, Difficult Loves and Don't Let the Force In, which is what I'm reading on my Kindle right now. I also just got Under the Banner of Heaven on Libby, and I'm so excited to read that. I love reading about religion. I'm reiterating things that I already said in my last video, but I can't assume that you've all seen my last video. It's possible you haven't. You should. If you haven't, you should watch it. But thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out in my corner of the internet. I hope you have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time it may be where you are and when you are watching this. Please come back. If you enjoyed my video, I would love if you'd like, comment, or subscribe if you feel like it. No pressure. But it would make me happy. So, thanks for hanging out, guys.